Hello and welcome to another beer review. I'm glad you could join me. For tonight I've got for you an American style IPA, Twisted Knot American IPA, 5.5%, purchased from Lidl, and it's under their name Hatherwood Craft Beer Company. You can probably just about see the writing on the top of the can. Now, before I continue, basically, Hatherwood Craft Beer Company, it doesn't exist. It's a fake brewery. It's just a name they put on the label to probably attract the craft beer brigade or the craft beer supporters of an American style IPA. I'm not really too happy about what they do, Lidl, about why can't they put the actual name of the bloody brewer who brews the beer. I think initially this American style IPA was brewed by Marston's, and then it changed to Shepherd Neame, but more recently I do believe it's now being brewed by Stewart Brewery in Scotland. They make some fine beers, but why the bloody hell can they just not say Twisted Knots American IPA brewed by Stewart Brewery in Scotland? So I just want to get that off my chest. The old Hatherwood craft beer company, it doesn't exist. It's a lot of beery bollocks, right? And it's brewed this by Stewart. So without further ado, let's get to the can. Let's taste it, and I'm hoping for a nice beer from the Scottish brewer, because as I said, they do brew some nice beers. And at 5.5%, it should have plenty of depth, plenty of flavour. It's certainly got a damn good head on it. It pours a very nice and a very nice colour. It's an amber colour, a large fluffy head. Plenty of carbonation initially has flown out of the can. So I'm quite confident that this American style IPA is going to be a very good beer indeed. So let's initially have a smell at the aroma. And as you'd expect, from the ingredients, there's the caramel malt, there's some crystal malt and some dark crystal malt. So you probably expect pretty sweet and some burnt sugar, possibly what you sometimes get from dark crystal malt. Let's see if that can be confirmed. Yeah, it's certainly sweet, caramel sweet, and there's some grapefruit. It's quite bitter. It's quite a nice aroma. That's a nice balance. Yeah, the caramel malt certainly coming through, the sweetness there, and the bitterness with the grapefruit from the hops. Quite a few hops as well that's been used in this beer. Quite impressed with that lineup. So let's have a taste and let's see if it comes up to standard. Yeah, that initial caramel malt, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, a little bit sugary. Yeah, that burnt sugar, which a hint of it, which you would expect with this dark crystal malt in the brewing lineup. Bit of warmth as well initially, and some nice bitterness, some nice grapefruit has come through. But you know what? After those flavours I've just mentioned, there seems to be a gatecrasher banging on the door here, wanting to enter the party. I can taste some metal. Now, I'll have a second taste. There's definitely a metallic taste at the end. Could take that away, that would be a damn good beer. There's some lovely caramel sweetness, and some bitter hops, which is at the back of the mouth after that. Really does balance well. But I can taste some metal. It's not overpowering. It's just spoilt. It's spoilt the lineup at the back end. It's like banged on the door and gate crashed the flavours. Bloody hell! Right now, couple of reasons I suppose for the metal. Whether something has leached into the boil, sometimes that can happen. But Stewart Brewery is such a reputable brewer. I can't imagine that happening. So I'm not quite sure what's happened. It's not going to be the can. These cans are like they have a polymer water base, and there's no contact. The beer to the can, to whether the metal or the aluminium. So I'm not quite sure what's gone on there. I'll give it another go. It is a nice beer. It's a sweet, fruity beer, and this, like I said, there's the caramel malt, and there is that hint of burnt sugar, which I've mentioned. This probably comes from the dark crystal malt, which is in the ingredients. But I'm sorry, Stuart Brewer, but there's some metal. There's a metallic taste at the very end, and it's spoiled. In my humble opinion, a damn good beer. I can also taste it it's in the aftertaste. The bitterness is there. It's a nice dry, bitter finish. The flavours there. That caramel is still there. That caramel sweetness and that bitter grapefruit, tangy, bitter finish. But there's a metal taste at the back end, and I'm flummoxed to be perfectly honest. I really, whether it's a bad batch, is it a bad batch? Is it something in the boil that's leached into the boil? It's certainly not in the lining. The polymer water-based lining will not allow the beer to taste metal for that reason. So I'm not quite sure what the bloody hell's happened. But in my opinion, it's spoilt a damn good beer from Stuart Brewing, not the Hatherwood Craft Beer Company. That's as I previously mentioned, that's a load of bollocks, and it's just a buzz name what they've named it, the range. But Stuart has produced, in my opinion, a very good beer. Whether it's, I hope it's just a bad, well, I don't hope it's a bad batch, but I'm not convinced about it thoroughly, because there still is that metal taste. It's not overpowering. It's just spoiled it. Let's have a bit more. It's the initial flavours are superb. It's a lovely, an American style IPA. And look at it. It's superb. It's lovely. Amber colour, nice white fluffy head, but for the life in me, I can't understand how I've detected that metal taste, and it's spoilt it. So I'm sorry about that one. I've got to give it a thumbs down. I did build it up a bit, and initially it tasted superb, but I just feel that this metallic hint of metallic has just like kind of gate crashed the party and spoilt what is, or what should have been, a very good beer. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, if you've tasted it before, please please comment on it. I'll gladly answer any questions. But I'm going to be truthful, and that's what I've tasted at the back end of what would have been for me an excellent American style IPA with all the caramel malt, the sweetness, and it really balanced well with the grapefruit, the zesty bitterness. But right at the back end, I can taste something metallic. So I won't bang on about it. I think I've convinced people that it spoilt the beer in a way, as far as I'm concerned. Okie doke, that's about it. Hope you've enjoyed the review. Hope you think I haven't been too critical. You've got to be honest. You can't really beat about the bush. I'm very low to criticise beers, and I very rarely do criticise beers, but I'm sorry to say I can still taste that metallic in the beer, and that's how I feel, and that's what it's all about, and that's how it's described. Okie doke, that's about it from me. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed the review. I hope you've enjoyed me being honest and forthright, and just as it is. And I hope you can join me for another beer review very soon. But for now, it's ta-ta, and as always, enjoy your beer.